day, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're right, 'cause it's time for the predictions video. We're looking at the Lunar New Year Week 2 Rustore for 2026. And, well, last week, people were indifferent. They didn't really care. They weren't really enthusiastic. This week, well, to the surprise of mostly me, I don't think many people even instantly noticed, they accepted the Chinese panel wooden double door. The wooden double door with all of that transparency, and if you don't know, we've got quite a discussion, so yes, they've accepted a ridiculously transparent wooden double door. Also, they've accepted some green tier 2 armor. Now, it's a bit debatable how green it is. Is it kind of blue? Maybe that's what they'll allow instead of the temple tier 2. Oh, people were complaining. Anyway, that's nice as well. We've also got like a spinning wheel here that glows in the dark. That's the first we've ever seen of that. So, okay. It's a pretty interesting Rustore. What we're going to do right now then is go through all these skins, identify what potentially is the best investment for this week, and we'll also point out which of these skins could also help us walk away with some sweet, delicious looking profit. So sit back, relax. I'm going to start yapping. So before I even start yapping about what's the best investment, let me just quickly give you some very interesting details. First of all, I'm sitting here recording this at 22 hours and 40 minutes in since the Rust rotated. So basically, it's almost been 24 hours and low sales. Low sales. Now, some of you might sit there and say, well, Hedge, it's Lunar New Year. Quite a lot of people don't really care about Lunar New Year. I would agree. Technically, this is a holiday. All right, fine, sure. But, well, a lot of people walking in weren't really expecting that much. But with pay-to-win skins, let me tell you this. We had Christmas somewhat recently, didn't we? And we saw a very interesting Christmas Rustore. And we saw some very interesting skins. A double door with a ridiculous amount of transparency. A very interesting bit of armor that happens to be pretty good camouflage. I wouldn't know what we're talking about here. So, if it's pay to win, probably doesn't matter. People still buy it. People still appreciate it. But there's also potential problems down the line that I'll explain. Now, with a lack of sales, if there is strong interest in these skins afterwards, if people actually sit here and say, you know what, I kind of want that now. Or if they didn't sell that much, there's only so much of it to go around. So let's say in the future, these skins, they didn't end up selling that much, but suddenly people want them in the further future. Well, if they get bought out, their prices are going up pretty easily. So a sheer lack of sales can lead to success, but it's also a sign of not that much interest. So we're almost 24 hours in, and honestly, the skins, if you're going to go get a good look at them right now, consider watching my Rust rotation video. Chapters are all there. There's some nice looking skins here. But typically in the past, Lunar New Year skins, they haven't performed super great. But with the skins we've got here, we've got quite a discussion. Oh, yes, indeed we do. Now, we also have to be prepared that prices might be dropping off regardless. So, in the past, usually around March and April time, there's a drop-off with the player count, and what follows that is a drop-off with interest in skins. Prices tend to go down. So, less people playing, less demand for skins, lower skin prices. But then after that, kids are out of school, it's the summertime, and well, yeah, so a lot more people playing, prices go up back again, and then potential brand new all-time peak prices. So basically, we start the year on a high, goes down for a while, goes back up for a while, goes back down for a while, then goes back up at the very end of the year. So we're expecting the next dip, the Easter dip, March and April time, but after that, we will look forward to the summer. If anything, whilst March and April it's a bad time to sell, it's a great time to buy. If prices are low, great time to jump in. As I said, prices tend to peak very nicely around July and August time. So if you made a lot of profit around January time, might be pretty interesting to make some considerations. It's up to you. So yep, let's just quickly refresh over to here as well. Top selling skin at the moment, the wooden double door with about 8,000 subscribers. Then it drops off quite a bit. Garage door, only 5,000. So, all right, take that into consideration. We've got low sales. We're also still expecting skins in general to drop off. But after that, as we enter the summertime, more specifically July and August time, because I'm aware you're all from different countries in the world and whatnot, and you have different seasons, you could see some of these rise up very nicely. So, shall we jump in now? Start talking about all the skins. Talk about what potentially is the best investment for this week. And come on now, I have to talk about the Chinese panel wooden double door. It's ridiculous. So, I saw this about 3 weeks ago. And the first thing I start yapping about is how ridiculous things are starting to become. I honestly dismissed this. I didn't think this was actually going to get accepted. Boom. Oh dear. So it doesn't glow in the dark, but the main interesting feature is the fact that it's very transparent. There is a ridiculous amount of transparency right there. I talked about power creep. If you don't know what power creep is, it's like when brand new content is being added to the game and it's it's a lot more powerful than all the pre-existing content. So case in point, brand new wooden double door appears. The amount of transparency it has is absolutely ridiculous. Transparency creep, I guess you could say. We had a pretty good wooden double door that had transparency that a lot of people were appreciating. So let's just quickly remind you, we've had quite a lot of wooden double doors somewhat recently, but that legacy wooden double door, oof, that dropped off. At one point, well, what price were you selling for? Because at the moment, it's the exact same price as the Chinese panel wooden double door. It dropped off real bad. So at one point, this was pushing up to about $5.50. It's dropped $2 instantly. Look at the drop off. Whoa. So yeah, that was actually rising up in price ever so nicely because people were appreciating it. But based on what's just happened here, it could happen all over again. It could also affect what we have right here. So what I'm expecting is, now that someone's got away with this, now that one skin creator has managed to get this amount of transparency in a wooden double door, all the other skin creators, and they're going to try for it as well. It's like last year when we saw the Heatseeker SAR being accepted with all the transparency on the same site. All the other skin creators also made SARs exactly like that with ridiculous amount of transparency. And it took until the Hellcore SAR for it, for another SAR to actually be accepted. But yeah, give it time. It wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing other double doors like this with that amount of transparency. Now, more specifically, that's a wooden double door. It's not too hard to destroy. I think it's like 1 or 2 Molotovs. That's not hard to take down, is it? No. I'm not sitting here and saying the exact same thing in regards to sheet metal double doors, although considering with that gingerbread door that we saw back in Christmas, I mean... So yeah, we are noticing more and more and lots more of transparency on wooden double doors, sheet metal double doors. You get the idea. So, okay. If we're expecting that to happen, well, you very likely could see competition, and competition could lead to this going down in price. The lack of sales easily can be attributed due to the fact that it's selling at $3.49. It's immediately at quite the disadvantage. Higher price skins are a lot harder to retain their value. And again, it's a higher price to jump into. Maybe it might suffer for a while. Maybe as we go through March and April, it goes down a bit. But then during the summertime, I do expect it to rise. So if we don't see that many other wooden double door skins being produced and accepted, that should be fine. But considering that what we've just seen today, I think we might start seeing some wooden double doors with just the same amount of transparency starting to appear. I'm always looking at the Rust store, Rust Workshop skin submissions, always questioning what could appear in Rust stores. I don't really see that many wooden double doors. Will other skin creators feel inclined to try and do that? Or maybe we'll just see them focusing, trying to get some barbecue skins accepted. So, alright, cool. In regards to this, I do believe a lot of people wait till the last second. After we do the abnormal barders, they'll jump in, they'll just probably buy some instantly. I should point out, the next Rust store is March FORCEWIPE. We're going to have an update. The next Rust store is expected to rotate early, alright? This was an early Rust rotation. Next week, I expect another early Rust rotation as well. So you might not have that much time to jump in and grab some, but I think a lot of people are just going to start jumping in literally just after the abnormals. I do believe a lot of people go strong in this. And again, it's all fine and dandy for a while, but if we do see competition, if we do see something else come out that's like this, this will drop off. So it's a bit risky, isn't it? But at the moment, it's definitely the most in-demand skin, and it's definitely got a lot going for it. If we don't see that many other wooden double doors being submitted, we're all good. But eventually, oh, well, we'll see, all right? So, all right, cool. You're looking interesting. It's justified. The amount of transparency is ridiculous. But what about all the other skins? Well, I'm jumping straight onto Jade Dragon Tier 2. This road sign kilt, more specifically, this road sign kilt, yep. So, if I could also just quickly bring this up to you. You might recall, I made a video talking about budget camouflage sets. Now, when it came to green clothing and armor, I would have brought up the Cell kilt, which right now is selling for about $2.36, and the Fish road sign kilt, $2.46. Now, if you want to go for an actual, like, somewhat okay, pretty good green road sign kilt, you could look at the Reptile Hunter kilt, $6.50. Or if you don't even want to care about a budget, just jump in, spend over $100 on the Forest Raiders road sign kilt. Yeah, maybe I might just commit to that brand new $2 road sign kilt right here. It is immediately the cheapest option. But, if you're hoping for like a full proper set, you're not going to see any collection continuations until next year. If they were to be accepted. So it immediately does have that going for it. There could be collection continuations. We could see more core pieces being produced and accepted. Tier 3, hoodie and pants, even boots and gloves. It would be appreciated, but we have to wait a year. Now, again, aside from that, it's still green Tier 2 armor. For a very long time, we were screaming, shouting, begging, we want Temple Tier 2. Well, I guess you're not getting it now. Sorry to say that they've accepted this instead. So, okay. I've tested this out already. You can quickly hop over to my... well, you can look over to here. Skip to the chapter where I talk about Jade Dragon Green Camouflage, question mark, for about 10 minutes, testing it out in different grassy green areas. The plains, the forest, well, even the jungle. It does do a pretty good job. But I also have a short video over to here as well. 3 minutes long. I showcase it. We test it out. It's okay. And okay for a lot of people is good enough. So I can see a pretty good future ahead of this, right? But it's going to be the road sign kilt more specifically, okay? So taking that into consideration, I wouldn't be surprised if that does a very good job of potentially becoming a very nice investment. And with the sheer lack of sales, like that's going to barely reach 5,000 subscribers within the next hour or so. Yeah, I don't expect that to even reach 5,000. That looks like it's going to struggle to even reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of its 7-day tenure in the roster. So, okay. Like this is probably at best reaching 20,000. This looks like it's going to barely reach 10. But I'm sure a lot of people jump in, wait till the last second, and then grab as much as they can. So I wouldn't be surprised that does push up to like 12,000 maybe. We'll see. But it's the other pieces as well. More specifically the kilt, but these are also still good as well. So yeah. Green camouflage potential. And the potential for a collection continuation the year after. So, alright, cool. Not going to complain about that. For the next skin, by default, I'll talk about Emperor Tier 3. Now, I don't want to sound mean. The only reason I bring this up is because we could potentially, at some point, eventually see hoodie and pants and Tier 2, or boots and gloves. But that's it. Like, in terms of its colours and whatnot, you can't hide. You are very noticeable, and you are very shiny. Yeah. So, I think it's traditional. Again, I don't know enough about Lunar Year and whatnot. But I wouldn't be surprised that goes below its restore price. I wouldn't be surprised that goes down in price quite a fair bit. It's a matter of try and pick them up at their potential lowest price and then wait till next year and, well, fingers crossed, hopefully, we'll see a collection continuation being made, and then if it gets accepted, that will spark a price ever so nice. See, I was hoping for this to happen with the Dragon's Fury skins. So let me just quickly scroll down. I'll find it in a second because it's a recent submission. Here you go. Last year, we saw Dragon's Fury hoodie and pants. This appeared for Lunar Year 2026. It wasn't accepted. But in anticipation for that potentially to be accepted, the hoodie and pants here, oh, they rose up in price ever so nice. So if I could just quickly go to Dragon's Fury, I can confirm to you that Dragon's Fury, do I have to type in Fury like that? Do I have to put the, oh, there you go, perfect, perfect. Yeah. They got cheap. They rose up a lot. Right now, though, what price are you? Still around $3? Let's just confirm. It's still around $3. Yeah, lots of people are rubbing their hands at the potential to see that going up even higher with Tier 3. Didn't happen, but it's still holding up and it's still doing good. So let's just learn from this. It went down, and then it went as low as about 80 cents, and then it actually went even lower. Went down to about 70 cents USD. But then after that, it slowly started to rise up in anticipation for next year's Lunar New Year. So, okay. Case in point, we'll probably do like, I don't know, 50 cents to 70 cents with the buy orders. If we do see the collection continuation, I'm happy. But we really need to see that happen. So by default, there could be some nice things going on with that, but it's definitely going to be a barter situation. And this type of approach is something we normally do with like holiday clothing and armor skins in general, regardless. So, right then. Other than that, I'm not too keen on all the other skins, but it's the lack of sales that's making things interesting. So looking at this locker, honestly, it's a pretty cool looking design. It lights up very nicely. It's a very nice looking glow-in-the-dark skin. This looks like it's going to barely reach 4,000 subscribers within the next hour. And that would mean, at best, maybe on average, it'll only reach about 8,000 subscribers after its 7-day tenure in the restaurant. It's a cool looking design. I'm surprised by that. I wouldn't be surprised that ends up becoming quite a nice investment in the future. Now again, how many locker skins are we going to see in 2026? Because so far, we've seen 3. But yeah, you're not even going to reach 10,000. But then look at the Oasis locker. That's part of a collection. That's not looking very good at the moment, is it? No. Oh dear. So, sheer lack of sales don't instantly mean everything's going to be fine. But there is the potential to be nice and good. And well, yeah. So, I'm curious. I'm interested. But I'm also well aware it doesn't default to being instantly successful. So, okay. Looking at all the other skins, I will sit here and say I'm curious. I'm curious about the rug. The lowest selling skin, I believe. Let's just confirm that. Yep, lowest selling skin. Only just over 2,400 subscribers at the moment. This is a pretty interesting, nice and noticeable design. It just doesn't glow in the dark or anything. But I have seen other rugs in the past for Lunar New Year. They've actually kind of worked out quite all right. So looking at this, all right, will you drop off? Wouldn't surprise me. Will it rise back up in price as time goes on? Wouldn't surprise me. Could that potentially be a nice investment then? Yeah, but it'll be a barter. Right then. So moving on from that, I kind of want to talk about the spinning wheel. Will people care about a glow-in-the-dark spinning wheel? It's the only one so far, but there could be more. But then again, this was the focused item of the month for February 2026. Will people still want to make spinning wheels after this? Will people make a glow-in-the-dark one? But for now, it is the only option that glows, and perhaps people like it simply because of that. Do people feel the need to have and own and use a spinning wheel? Lots of questions, not many good answers, I'm sorry to say, but lack of sales. It could be interesting, but just take a quick look at all the recent ones. Oh, it's not looking very pretty, is it? No. So, all right, fair enough. So, looking at everything else, honestly, I don't really expect much. You have the horse garage door, honestly, lack of sales, that makes it interesting. But literally just the previous week, we had a horse-themed garage door. It's already gone down in price. But that also did 18,000 subscribers. Well, you're going to barely reach 10,000, aren't you? Yeah. Maybe these will work out nicely in the future if people want to make like horse stables. If we can actually farm horses in the future, that might be pretty useful. That might be nice. So keep an eye on it, but also take into account we very likely will see a ridiculous amount of garage doors this year. Next week, I won't be surprised if we see another. Twitch drops, I won't be surprised if we see more. Kick drops, I think we're still expecting the default kick drop for a garage door. Like, just had like the kick logo on it or whatever. It wouldn't surprise me if we see it eventually. So, yeah, there's definitely more garage doors on the horizon. And last year, with the amount that we saw, it was ridiculous. It was another record-breaking amount for a single year. And we're definitely on pace to beat it right now. About halfway through last year, I looked at all the garage doors and I saw every single one of them in the negative. You still kind of see it right now. 1, 2, they're in the positive. Everything else, ooh. So, yeah, far too many options leads to issues like that. It's hard for one of them to even stand out and for people to appreciate it. So, yeah, okay. So that just kind of leaves me with the weapons and the rock. Rock, I think, could probably be okay. Again, lack of sales, looking pretty sweet. It's just, I'm not sure if people are going to care enough. It's abnormal, though, but we might be playing it safe with that. Well then, another SKS, but this has sold next to nothing, especially compared to all the other skins. So, Heatseeker comes out, over 50,000 subscribers, Training SKS, I think a lot of people have bought that because they think it's that one, the limited edition one. Well, we'll see. Anyway, that's actually managing to retain its price. Wings of Death, I thought you'd do alright, because I don't expect to see another hot pink design for an SKS anytime soon. So, okay, as of now, they're looking pretty sweet. What about March and April time? You, however, you're fine. I like the horses on it and whatnot. But wow, you have sold nothing. Hardly anything in comparison to the other skins. Maybe that could help you out. But how many more SKS skins are we expecting? Well, if I could remind you of my Rust Workshop skin checks, I can confirm to you, we saw a lot of SKS skins being submitted. 10 different designs in total, and we also have this next weekend to look forward to as well, where we could probably see like 10 more. Next week, I am expecting an SKS to be accepted for March FORCEWIPE. Which will it be? It wouldn't surprise me if it's No Mercy. It wouldn't surprise me. So, okay. You could easily get like lost in a shuffle. So, yeah. And then, of course, you know, the handmade LMG. I don't think people care about handmade LMGs. What makes you say that? Well, for a very long time, it wasn't skinnable. Then suddenly we get quite a lot of skins, and the majority of them aren't looking very good at the moment. So, yeah. Probably the lowest selling skin, maybe. Looks like it could happen. But, ooh, you do have competition here. This barely went over 5,000 subscribers. That very likely is the reason why it's doing quite all right at the moment. So maybe the same will happen. I still don't think it's going to be a massive profit. So, all right, cool. So, yeah, we've got the SAP as well. SAP is fine. SAP's just a standard design. I think it'll end up like these. Somewhat down in price. Not crashing and burning. Just not really becoming a nice investment. We have seen some SAPs sell next to nothing, and they still didn't really work out very nicely. It's a okay design. I've got nothing wrong. I see nothing wrong. I've got nothing against it. It's just I don't expect it to become a massive profit. So, yeah. So I do believe that's everything. Some of you might mention the horse mask and the Lunar horse armor. All the barters for them have already happened. So it's too late now. You might sit there and say, oh, should I jump in and buy some? I think you're better off with a barter. I think you could definitely pick these up for a better price. About halfway for each of them. So we've already talked about that in a recent video. So hopping out of here, I can confirm to you that video is right over to here. So if you've missed out, if you didn't do the barters yet, consider giving this a good watch. It'll probably give you a nice sort of like showcase and explanation for my thought process. Basically, just look at things in the past. There's a lot of relatable things that you can look at to try and figure this out. So, all right, fair enough. So, what is there to talk about now then, Hedge? Well, let's keep you informed for content that we're going to see next week. So, of course, deep sea fixes. If I could switch over to Mr. Protox on Twitter, ta-da, there you go. Those are all the proposed changes. They're currently on staging. It's expected all of this will be appearing next week. Notable changes such as deep sea loot is expected to respawn, and you cannot use ribs to go into the deep sea. There's various other things right there. You could pause right now, give that a good look, but yeah, I'm not expecting like a massive update. I don't think we're going to see a massive content update for a while now, not until the summer. Not sure what the next massive update is going to be, but just go back and look at that roadmap. Face Punch themselves posted. You probably get a good idea. Later this year, I'm expecting farms. Farm animals, farms, breeding, we'll see. So, all right, cool. Boxes DLC. Have you seen the videos yet? Mr. Protox has, of course, already showcased all of them. There's the quick preview. This is the reason why the Xenotype skins have dropped off and crashed and burned. Even the other storage collections, well, of course, the Neon storages, Graffiti, Scientific, they've all suffered. But then again, they were already expected to suffer as we go through, well, March and April. So if this were to, if it were to happen, it's a good thing it happened around now, because it was already expected to, well, happen. So yeah, if you haven't seen the video yet, consider going to Protox's YouTube. You can see it over to here, a nice showcase of all the skins. Basically, when you add content inside of them, you can visually see it being added. So yeah, go give that a good watch over on Protox. Right, anything else? Hamster wheel, what? Yeah, different ways to produce electricity. Is that for people to run in, or I'm going to get hamsters being added to Rust? I'm joking. It's just going to be a wheel for water. So yeah, basically, I don't know. You get a base set up near the water. It'll just constantly, slowly flow, and well, I guess electricity will be made from there. So all right, cool. Keep an eye on the commits for all the potential brand new content that could be added. Gives you a nice early insight for what could be happening. So all right, horse update. Yeah, cool. So some slight changes to the animations. All right, not going to complain. And from here and now, be prepared. Barbecues are on the way. So again, we've already talked about this in the recent Rust Workshop skin checks. It was a big video. There's 143 skins to talk about. I have to figure out a way to do it faster. But if I quickly hop over to here, yep. All the collection continuations are chaptered. If you just scroll down, look in the description, boom, everything's there. So if something's caught your eye, skip ahead. You'll see me yap about it. You'll see me discuss, well, could that potentially lead to some interesting investments and whatnot? You get the idea. So barbecues are mentioned. Barbecues are expected to appear, but which one will be accepted next week? To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if we see 2 of them being accepted next week. I'm expecting a big Rust store. If you want to get a bit of an early insight in regards to what's the top performing skins, well, go to microfighter2.com. It's linked in the description. So I can confirm to you, Nom Nom Barbecue is currently on top, followed by Radioactive Barrel, followed by Gold Chains Barbecue, which is actually a collection continuation. So, all right, cool. Cooking in Pure Gold. Sounds pretty appealing. So that's pretty much everything. Yep, I don't think I have much else to see or say. So, all right. Average player count could potentially surpass January if we have a pretty good weekend. And let me just refresh. It's starting to pick up the pace. We shall see. But regardless, February has been good. Naval Update has definitely... it's definitely made things interesting. Would you agree? And with the expected slow iterations over the course of the next several months, I think it will slowly become a perfectly fine thing in the game. Like, originally, people, as they were taking part in it, they just thought, well, I could just use a rib. Well, you can't do that now. So we'll see how it goes. And guys, seriously, keep an eye out in regards to the brand new submissions. I have seen some very interesting skins being submitted. Oh, what clothing and armor pieces could we see? Well, you've got to keep an eye out, because there's a lot of interesting things that are submitted. And also, Armored Double Door is the focused item of the month for March 2026. So Barbecue New Skinnable, Armored Double Door, focused item. Lots of interesting things could potentially be accepted, but what will? We shall see. So that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, sales as of now, well, it's not exactly changing that much. So yeah, lack of sales could lead to success. Fingers crossed. We'll see.